Hi, folks. Mark Merrill with Firm. We present our interview with J. Martin Vachon, who goes by Marty or Martin, independent and at first a write-in candidate, but now a member of the American Party for the new governor of the state of Maine in 2026. A lot of candidates out there, ladies and gentlemen, but we wanted to get one more time for right now before the end of the year here in 2025 to speak with Martin. And we're going to let this interview roll, and then we'll get to some more facts about Mr. Vachon and where he stands, first of all, on the issues of the day and some insight. Here's that interview, folks. Write-in candidate, I believe, still. Is that correct? Gubernatorial candidate J. Martin Vachon. He goes by Martin or Marty. Thank you very much for joining us here on Firm.
Thank you for having me.
Sure.
It's good to be heard.
You were just recently, before we get started on your campaign, you were recently speaking with candidate now, Paul LePage.
Yes, I met up with him last night. It was just more of a personal thing, but we exchanged phone numbers, and I think he's interested in listening to me for where he's going.
Fantastic. Would you mind talking about one little, well, it's kind of personal, it is personal, with your son that's dealing with the immigration people lately?
Yeah, Tong Lu. Yeah, his father died back in Germany. I'm back in China during COVID, and he couldn't go to the funeral, so he adopted me as his father figure, and it's been a reciprocal thing because he is such a good man. He's one of the finest people I've ever met in my life. And for immigration to pick him up, to me that is just so horrible. It's the workings of our own police state, where our state policeman should have recognized that this person isn't going to run away. He's a pillar of the community in Bangor and Brewer. Just a good warning to get his paper in order would have been fine. And nothing beyond that, but this is so terrible. Such a mutation of Trump's good intention of closing our borders and preventing bad people from getting here, but going around picking up restaurant owners and arresting them like that, it is just so bad, so horrible. That's one of the things I want to change. Our state police have to become much more personable than they are now.
Well, certainly hope things will turn around for you on that, Marty, and as well as obviously for your son and that sort of thing. He's been in the state on a regular basis for about 30 years, you were saying, and being successful at it, correct?
Oh yes, very industrial person. Just a pillar of the community. Wherever he goes, he does good things for people.
What's the status on it right now, if you can say if anything up to date on it?
Waiting for a hearing someday with a lawyer from New York that couldn't find a lawyer in Maine that would take this.
Any particular reason why?
I heard it's because once they've been incarcerated by immigration, that none of the local lawyers would touch it.
Has there been any consideration of contacting the White House on this, or ICE, maybe Tom Homan?
Again, I got to talk to Paul LePage last night. We didn't talk directly about this, but I've got a direct line to him now, and I will discuss this matter with him that he can take to Washington.
Okay, very good. Back on track here with the campaign for the governor's position in 2026. I've gone through your website for quite a while, and I also wanted to maybe update a little bit, because I know you go to it, but not that often. Is that correct? I mean, to update anything?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. What would you say? And it seems to me like you're definitely a supporter of the Constitution and freedom, rights, and all that sort of thing for everybody, and that's not a problem, obviously. But well, it shouldn't be for anybody, for that matter.
But when you start your campaign, and what should I say, you get elected, what would be in your mind, what would be the first thing you'd want to get to as far as for the people of Maine?
Oh, maybe to eliminate the Department of Human Services. That would be a good start right there.
Okay.
I just feel that there's a lot of negativity in there and a lot of negative growth and negative supports instead of growing a strong people under our U.S. Constitution. This is just removing the ability to grow a strong, structured life for yourself and replacing it with a government care, which is wrong.
Right.
Yeah, it's marriage counseling started me on this part of human services.
Okay. Yep.
And it's instead of building fine humanity, they make you comfortable in your decaying roles, which is not a good solution to the problems we have today. I want to see the Ten Commandments taught in school. They're just the rules of not making mistakes in the structure of your life.
Right. True. Good
the
point.
Religious aspect, that's your choice.
Right. On the thing of everything else that's going on, of course, with the state, Janet Mills, and that sort of thing, we don't want to dwell on it. But what after that sort of a thing, you get the DHHS going and all that sort of thing, and what would be other priorities that you'd want to pursue once you get in office?
Again, the main driver is the Department of Human Services and how they operate. And education would come next, I guess. President Trump has eliminated the head of education federally, so it's up to us in the states now to clean up what we do have. Special ed, I've seen some bad things come out of that instead of, again, people being put on the track of the Ten Commandments, like a country was structured to be not a problem to yourself or anyone around you. There are no teachings like that.
Right.
Yeah.
What would be, what's your thoughts, I guess would be a better way to put it, on what you're dealing with as well as law enforcement and that sort of thing when it comes to, not just in your case, but I mean as overall. Do you think there's anything in the way of corruption? And I usually, where do you start, right? But what I come to, Martin, is that since I grew up here in Madison, my neck of the woods, but law enforcement was always respected. I think that's long gone, and water under the bridge, the dirty water under the bridge, if you will. No respect there. I don't know if it's got to do with corruption or not, but my question is would there be a cleaning out of the way that officers are trained? And I want to start from our point of view at firm is the Maine Criminal Justice Academy. I think the criminal justice system is really, really, I don't know, rotten to the core, and a lot of cleaning out needs to be done. How do you see that?
I agree. It's just the bureaucracy that needs to be brought around much more efficiently than it operates now.
What about Janet Mills? Do you think that they show for her?
Oh, I like Janet Mills, but the poor lady's been fed a diet of ivy leaves all her life, so she has no understanding of what happens out here to us ordinary people.
Okay, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yes, we must laugh about these things.
Well, we got to have a sense of humor.
When I started this 44 years ago, back in the broken down neighborhood in Sanford, and about 400 people that are all, kind of broken down on welfare and things not going right for them, leading very troubled lives, to say the least. Right. Just imagine if all these people, one day they woke up and realized they've been trained in these simplicities away from a productive life under the U.S. Constitution.
Absolutely.
I don't want to arouse those kind of hatreds, any part of it, just an awareness of it. If violence ever broke out because of what I do, I would know I have done it wrong.
Yep. It's quite crazy. If you had a statement that you'd wanted to give here, I know we're still in the later parts of 2025, and the campaign probably won't really gear up until after New Year's and that sort of thing, in full gear, if you will. What what would be your statement to the general population right now as to what your vision is of a better life in Maine? It's kind of a broad question, I know, but
Clean up our educational system, clean up the human services, and another big one with me is environment. I uh, It's an evolutionary process, the survival of the fittest in nature. It's an evil beast, really. Humanity has been given an intelligence which it has not applied well to protecting our environment, a source of clean water and clean air.
Yep.
That's something I've dwelled on the last 20 years.
This will be the final one here, Martin, and I appreciate your time today with us here on Firm. Where are you headed next here? I know we're just before the Thanksgiving holiday, the Christmas holiday, and that sort of thing. As you head into 2026, what's your? You have other interviews, I'm sure, along the way. But what's your next destination, or that you think you'll be headed in?
Thanksgiving back in southern Maine and Lebanon. And I'll just take them as they come. The strange about an election, somewhat like speedway racing, that things kind of have to come to you. To come around the way you want them. And I just see what President Trump has started. Yes, we should continue in that direction to make our government much more efficient than what it has become. Since its inception of the nation under God and getting the best out of people, socialism has crept in bit by bit by bit and grown. Socialism isn't a free people's government.
For sure. Well, thank you again for your time, Martin, and all the best to you and family and that sort of thing as we head into the holidays, but also into the campaign in 2026. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Yes, we have to be careful.
Oh, yes, thank you. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking with a write-in candidate.
And that was our interview with Martin Vachon of northern Penobscot County, where he is located presently. As you can still see behind us here, ladies and gentlemen, we have the candidates themselves from all parts of the state of Maine that are running for governor. One thing we do want to put up here for you folks is, of course, this is an old picture of Marty back in the day in the early 80s when he first started to run for governor. But he registered this year, 2025, under the America Party. I have no N on the end of it. It's not American. It's the America Party, and we'll show you here in a second. Balancing budgets, empowering futures. It says the America Party is a movement of everyday citizens committed to pragmatic solutions, fiscal responsibility, principled leadership, and a brighter future for all Americans beyond red and blue. We are the teal movement, they say. So there it is, and we have it right there for you, and we will post that also as a comment, as a tag on this particular interview and program, as a interview and a look at independent America Party candidate J. Martin Vachon for governor of Maine in 2026. A little bit more insights here, ladies and gentlemen. A few more things about Marty we'd like to run down for you here on Firm. He wrote back in November of 2017, one of the issues that he was dealing with that came in the news, Peninsula Peace and Justice, anti-Ku Klux Klan state recruitment rally. False liberal freedom was expressed at that time. His reply, true unlimited freedoms are within the parameters of 10 commandments. Once again, if these are broken, we become a very limited people. he says he would like to bring this same message to the Ku Klux Klan. Indeed, among many others, as he talked briefly, but right on, spot on, with socialism creeping in, bit by bit, as he said. Our United States Constitution, he says, was designed for a highly evolved and disciplined people, an asset to all, a liability to none, thereby creating a freedom of movement and utopian environment for us all. It is being replaced by an ancient failing socialism. And its dehumanizing forces are morphing into hardline authoritative totalitarianism. He says his campaign needs your help, the Maine people, to remove these influences from our own government. Through peace, true justice, and education, as we make these changes, we all gain, no one loses. And just a couple of other things, folks. Mr. Vachon says he, as well as his family, are all a product of tradition. Its respects produce an unmatched quality of life. The strength of the traditional family is being replaced by government institutions, bureaucratic practices, and those have made the institutions ineffective. Those quality of life institutions, to the point of damaging all. As governor, he says it would be his job to remove those negative influences. A critique has been established with the Board of Overseers of the Bar, the American Bar Association, administration to the courts, Boy Scouts, or Scouts of America, unfortunately their name got changed, and has had verbal critiques in the past of the Bureau of Professional Regulation regarding family counseling. He did mention that. Police, law enforcement, Board of Education, Public Utilities Commission, which was briefly in the news, legal services for the elderly, Board of Realtors, and he said he'd save for the general election, as you heard in the interview, folks, Health and Human Services. Reply from the Board of Overseer of the Bar for no professional misconduct by attorneys. Huh. Wow. Is that long overdue, not only in this state, but in the entire country? Let's pray for Donald Trump on that one, shall we? And no professional misconduct by the attorney says accepted conduct is to create an air of deception where no truth is heard, he says. I was advised, he said, by the Board of Overseers of the Bar, the American Bar Association, and we'll end with this one, folks. His words, TITTL. That's what he was advised by. Tell it to the legislature. Make them honorable and make changes instead of running away scared from the tactics of Janet Mills and the deflectocrats who have ruined this state. His rationale, says Martin Vachon, no attorney should hold an elected office. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you, as always, for joining us here on Firm. I am Mark Merrill for this special edition on J. Martin Vachon, running for governor of the state of Maine in 2026. Contact us all the time, anytime, folks, right here. fairnessinreportingmedia@gmail.com, fairnessinreportingmedia@gmail.com. Our programs are always on YouTube and Twitter, or X, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As always, pray for our country and our state. Everyone stay safe during the holiday seasons coming up. Peace to all.